My name is Bea Roberts. I'm the writer of And Then Come The Nightjars. And I think that when people first hear that the play centres around a farm going through the crisis of the 2001 foot-and-mouth epidemic, that it might not sound like a total laugh riot. And I completely understand that. But for me, the play, whilst it is set on a farm and the events of 2001 are really the catalyst for what happens in the story, it's actually a play that takes place over the span of about 20 years. And the core of that story is a friendship between Michael and Jeff, and the way that these two men, who often really struggle to communicate with each other, the way that they bond, the way that they cope, is the way that I bond with people and cope with things, which is through humour. So there is actually, I think, for a lot of people, a surprising amount of comedy in the play. I think that a lot of the farmers I know are very, very dry. I grew up in a farming community, and farmers are at the pointy end of life and death. They have to they have a very stressful job where they are dealing with the life cycle of animals if you're raising a herd. And I think that lends itself to a certain stoicism and a certain dryness and a certain black comedy, which is how you cope with life and how you keep getting up in the morning and getting on with things. And I think that definitely, for me, some of the darkest times in my life have been the times where I've needed comedy the most and have lent on it the most. So I hope that while the play takes the issues and the characters and the struggles that they face, which are based on very real struggles that people faced, farmers and farming communities, and continue to face, unfortunately, while it takes those things very, very seriously, the characters never really take themselves completely seriously. And I think there's a lot to that. Michael and Jeff, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but they find themselves sort of torn apart or put on opposite sides of a conflict. And whilst I wanted the play to be about the crisis of 2001 and what happened, because I think it was a big trauma that needed to be marked and hadn't really been spoken about in popular culture, I also wanted it to be about a play about recovery and a play about resilience and a play about rebirth and finding new elements. And so hopefully the play charts the story of these two men over 20 years, and you see an evolving relationship, deepening of a friendship, and from the ashes of the crisis is born something completely new, which is very much like, the countryside recovers after the winter. We always get the snowdrops, and it has an incredible capacity to heal and to renew and to keep going. And that's something that I find really inspiring, and I think really inspires the characters in this play too. So although it is a play with some seriousness and some darkness and some tragedy in it, hopefully there is also a huge amount of comedy and light too, and I hope you enjoy it.